Allen also broke Wilt Chamberlain's rookie record of 3 straight games with at least 40 points.
Boom! Come here, boy!
5 straight games, including a 50-point effort in Cleveland.
Oh my God. Hold on, bro. Hold on. This man is cooking right now, bro. Good God, bro. What's on the menu, AI? Look at this. Bro, 44 in Chicago, 40 in Atlanta, 44 in Milwaukee, 50 in Cleveland, and 40 points in Washington. As a rookie, he putting up these numbers, bro. How good was prime Allen Iverson? Groovy tapping in. Welcome back to another vid. A small guard terrorizing the league. You know what I mean, man? Killer crossover. One of the best scorers of all time. One of the swaggiest, most influential players of all time. Let's get into it, man. Let's see what his prime was looking like. Let's see everything he accomplished throughout his whole career. Before we get into it, like the video, comment down below any videos y'all want Young Groovy to react to next. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel if you new.
At 6'0" and 170 pounds, Allen Iverson was the shortest and lightest MVP in league history.
Wow.
But even more than his MVP, 11 All-Star selections, and 4 scoring titles, AI was a cultural icon. He changed the way athletes looked, how they talked, and how the point guard position was played. The answer was your favorite player's favorite player. And even though he was perpetually late and didn't like to practice,
we talking about practice.
In 2001, he produced one of the most magical finals runs in NBA history.
Ooh.
In this video, we'll talk about Iverson's prime years, how desperate the Sixers were before his arrival, and how AI reached basketball immortality with the worst offensive team ever.
Wow.
And it all started while Allen Iverson was still in high school, and the Sixers started to suck. Since the 1992 season... And
damn, hold on, bro. They missing layups. Look at this.
Still in high school, when the Sixers started to suck. Since the 1992
oh
season and Charles
God.
Barkley's trade to Phoenix, the Philadelphia 76ers became one of the worst teams in the NBA. But after they won just 18 games in 1996, there was hope on the horizon when the Sixers won the draft lottery and the #1 overall pick. The 1996 draft was the best class ever, producing 10 All-Stars and 5 Hall of Famers.
Ooh.
But the Sixers' choice was easy, and they went for a sure thing.
Hold on, let me see everybody that was in his class. Was that Marcus Camby, Stephon Marbury, Kobe Bryant? I don't know who that is. Jermaine O'Neal, Steve Nash. I don't know who that is. Antonio Walker, I think. Ray Allen, and I don't know those other two. Yeah, this was a nice class right here, I ain't gonna lie.
And 5 Hall of Famers. But the Sixers' choice was easy, and they went for a sure thing. Despite some questions about his character and him being the smallest and the lightest player ever selected first overall, there were not that many questions about the
wow,
answers
he went
game.
first overall.
Because from the first moment he stepped on an NBA floor, there was no doubt this guy was the fastest player the league had ever seen. Even as a 155-pound rookie, Iverson put
whoa, hold on, bro. $155? That's it? Yo, my little brother way more than that, bro, on everything, bro. The fact that he came into a grown man's league at $155 and dominating everybody is crazy. It's like Lil Bow Wow and like Mike coming into the league just terrorizing everybody. That's crazy though, bro. He went first overall too.
Even as a 155-pound rookie, Iverson put fear in people's hearts because nobody could stay in front
Come here.
Iverson could change directions with the ball,
Come here.
string, turn on the jets, and burn whoever.
Yeah, that crossover
went.
crazy.
Despite his small stature, Iverson had a long wingspan. He was wiry, strong, and if you tried to beat him up, he'd get up every single time and go at you 100 miles an hour again.
Bro, he's not afraid
In
too.
his NBA debut, AI scored 30 points.
Oh, in his debut?
Scoring game ever for an NBA rookie. Allen also broke Wilt Chamberlain's rookie record of 3 straight games with at least 40 points.
Boom! Come here, boy!
5 straight games, including a 50-point effort in Cleveland.
Oh my God! Hold on, bro. Hold on. This man is cooking right now, bro. Good God, bro. What's on the menu, AI? Look at this.
Doing so.
Look at this stretch he was on.
Including a 50-point effort in Cleveland.
Bro, 44 in Chicago, 40 in Atlanta, 44 in Milwaukee, 50 in Cleveland, and 40 points in Washington. As a rookie, he putting up these numbers, bro. $155. Damn, AI wasn't playing, bro. Straight out the gate. Rookie season, just terrorizing everybody in front of him. Bro is an undersized, fearless scorer.
Against the Cavaliers. who had the second best
Look at
defense in the NBA that season. He thus became the second youngest player ever to reach the 50-point plateau.
God
but the most
damn.
memorable moment of his rookie season came against his idol, Michael Jordan.
Hey! Come
Iverson
here.
finished that game against Chicago with 37 points on
37 on Mike?
completely
As a
outshining
rookie?
Jordan, who finished with 24 points on 9 for 20.
Wow.
In his rookie year, AI led the Sixers
Oh.
with 23.5.
Come here. Hold on, bro. He making everybody look silly out here, y'all. Look at this
9
snatch
for
right here.
24 shooting. In his rookie
Come
year,
here,
AI
snatch,
led the
come here.
Sixers with 23.5 points, which was the 6th best scoring average in the NBA. He also ranked 11th in assists with 7.5 dimes per game.
Oh my
Even though he shot
God.
41% from
They
the
gave him the
field, he made
keys.
155 three-pointers, which was near the top of the league. Iverson won Rookie of the Year. However, his 76ers sucked, and they were glued to the bottom of the standings.
Wow.
And because they
Rookie
barely
of the Year,
improved
though.
from the previous year, Coach Johnny Davis got fired. And in his place came a coach that would soon become synonymous with Allen Iverson, Larry Brown. As a player, Brown was
Larry
a
Brown.
three-time assists leader in the ABA. And as a coach, he was a disciplinarian who believed in structure and being 20 minutes early to everything. And when he got to Philadelphia, there was Iverson, a ball hog who didn't like to pass the ball, a guy who believed coaches couldn't teach him much, and who was perpetually late for everything. It was a match made in hell. And it didn't take long for the coach and the superstar to clash. If you come down and jack up a bad shot and nobody else touches the ball, what good have you done? Those four guys, they don't want to just run, play defense, and set screens. It gets old for them real fast. But Iverson was a hothead and didn't like Brown's authoritarian style. He did not stay after practice to work on his game. If there was a shoot-around, he showed up when it started and left as soon as it was over, if he even showed up at all. When the other Sixers hit the gym, Iverson would just lay on the bench press machine, pretending to be lifting. Or he'd hide in the bathroom and eat junk food. Still, with more experience and Brown's efforts, Iverson improved. As a rookie, he led the NBA in turnovers with 4.4 per game, and in his sophomore season, he cut that to just 3.1. His shooting efficiency went up from 41% to 46%, and his decision-making improved, as Brown didn't want the Sixers to be a one-man show. If I had a mismatch last year, I could take it. I can't do that as much this year. That gets a little frustrating, Iverson said of his lack of freedom on offense. But despite Iverson scoring less than the year before, the Sixers improved, even though they didn't make the playoffs. However, in 1999, AI couldn't be reined in anymore, not even by Brown. The coach started to play Iverson as a shooting guard to get him off the ball, but the result wasn't more cutting to the basket and off-ball movement to make it easier for the offense. Sir, AI started gunning, leading the NBA in field goal attempts and averaging nearly as many turnovers as assists. The ball was still in AI's hands for the majority of the time, and thanks to an insane usage rate, he led the NBA in scoring with 26.8 points per game. Most importantly, thanks to their top 5 defense, the Sixers were finally successful with their first winning season in 8 years. In the playoffs, AI led the Sixers past Orlando in the first round with 28 points, 6 assists, and 4 steals per game. But in the next round, they immediately got swept by the Pacers. For the 1999-2000 NBA season, AI continued on the same trajectory.
Oh my God.
He took 25 shots per game, which was nearly a third of all the Sixers' attempts. He averaged 28 points, which was second best in the league, and he made his first All-Star team. The Sixers again won their first round playoff matchup, but they once again lost in the second round to the Pacers. On the surface, Iverson had a successful year. He was a fan favorite and was becoming a cultural icon, with nearly half the NBA copying his hairstyle, getting tattoos, and wearing baggy clothes. However, inside the locker room, it was horrible. Iverson missed half of the team's practice sessions. And for the ones that he did show up to, he was late. And Larry Brown, who was setting up his clocks 20 minutes early just so he was never late for anything, was fed up. Brown publicly criticized the behavior of a star player.
I wonder what your relationship would be with any employee that you might have who doesn't choose to come to work.
And suspended
imagine. Hold on. My fault, y'all.
them for one game.
I was suspending him for one game. But look, imagine if AI would have had the work ethic like a Kobe Bryant and a Michael Jordan. Oh my God. Because look, AI is doing all of this without coming to practice, staying late, getting extra reps in. He's still leading the league in scoring, still making all-star teams. You know, his shooting percentage is kind of low, but still though, like he's still doing all of this without coming to practice. So imagine if he had that extra drive and extra motivation and put in those extra reps in practice first, he'd probably be a whole different AI.
To which Iverson went berserk. You say this team's a family when it's convenient, but then you go talk about me in the newspapers. If it's really family, then you keep it in the family. You don't disrespect me like that. After this incident, Larry Brown demanded from the ownership that Iverson had to be traded or that he himself would quit.
In Philadelphia, coach Larry Brown and guard Allen Iverson have been going at it again.
Wow.
Iverson was miffed that he was
It was
benched
that bad?
Saturday night for the final 20 minutes of an eventual loss to Detroit.
And Iverson shared the same sentiment about his coach, wanting him gone. He believed that he was a superstar and that the Sixers would get rid of Brown to keep him. But then, a shock. During the offseason, the Sixers decided to trade Iverson and were openly shopping him across the league. Finally, in late July of 2000, a 4-team, 10-player deal was made between the Pistons, Hornets, Lakers, and Sixers that would have sent Iverson and center Matt Geiger to Detroit. However, at the last moment, Matt Geiger refused to waive his trade kicker bonus, which messed up the finances of such a complicated trade, and everything fell through. But this near trade finally sobered up Allen Iverson. He realized that he was not above the team, that he was acting like a prima donna, and that if he didn't clean up his act, the Sixers would get rid of him as soon as they got the chance.
That's
From
crazy.
that point on, I promised myself that I would never give anyone the ammo to use against me. I looked back at the practices I missed.
That boy got a wake-up call.
So many, and I was late for so many. I gave them the ammo. Before the training camp started, Iverson had a meeting with Larry Brown where he apologized for his behavior. I'm going to change. I'm ready to be a leader. I want to be a captain. I'm going
There we
to be
go.
on time. I want to have the kind of relationship with you that Magic Johnson had with Pat Riley and Michael Jordan had with Phil Jackson.
That's
Brown was a
the
leader,
that's the
'cause
mentality
all
you
he
need to
wanted
have,
too.
bro.
And when the training camp started, Iverson kept his word. He didn't miss a single day of training camp.
There we
not
go.
a single weightlifting session. When the training camp started, AI reported at 155 pounds, with the goal to bump that to 170 for the first game of the regular
There we
season.
go.
When that first game came, AI weighed in at 172
Yeah,
pounds.
wait on
Years than
too.
ever. The Sixers started the season with 10 wins in a row, and there was a noticeable change in Iverson's game and body language. AI started to dish the ball more out of the other teams. He looked engaged during timeouts and hugged his coach after games. This new dynamic between Brown and Iverson
Bro, you
culminated
love to
during
see
the
it.
All-Star game, when Allen's fourth-quarter explosion carried the East to victory. Since the 76ers had the #1 seed, Brown coached the game. And after Iverson was presented the All-Star game MVP, his first words were,
Where's my coach? Where's my coach? Coach Brown. Is he around?
Before the trade deadline, the Sixers traded Tony Kukoc and Theo Ratcliffe for Dikembe Mutombo, who won Defensive Player of the Year that season. The Sixers
Okay.
secured the #1 seed in the East, and for the first time since their championship year in 1983, it looked like they could go all the way. After they
Wow,
defeated
number
the
one
Pacers in the
seed.
first round of the playoffs, Iverson was named the league MVP.
MVP!
with averaging 31 points, 4.5 assists, and 2.5 steals. On top of the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP, the Sixers also had a Sixth Man of the Year in Aaron
Wow. Hold on. They had the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and the Sixth Man of the Year. And him and his coach getting along now. Okay, now we starting to get going.
However, in
Here
the
we
second
go.
round, another problem awaited, and the clash with the high-flying superstar Vince Carter. Vince and AI were the most attractive players in the NBA, and their matchup was one of the most exciting duels in NBA history.
Uh-oh.
In Game 1 in Philly, both Iverson and Carter went over 35 points, but
Ooh.
Toronto won. In Game 2, AI scored 54 to even the
Damn.
series, and Carter immediately countered with 50 of his own. in Game
Oh.
3. The Sixers evened the series in the fourth game, and in Game 5, Iverson eclipsed 50 again. finishing with
Damn,
52
another
points, 7
50-point
assists, and 4
game?
steals to give Philadelphia a 3-2 series
He
lead.
going
But
crazy.
in Toronto, Carter played out of his mind again, scoring 39 points to extend the series and force a Game 7.
Wow.
On the day of the deciding game, Carter had a graduation ceremony in North Carolina, and he decided to participate. After 2 flights that day, he made it to Philadelphia, but he was exhausted and played an awful game, including a final second miss that would send the Sixers to the conference finals.
Wow.
And had a horrible shooting night, but he did finish with a career-high 16 assists.
Ooh,
And doing
dishing a
everything in his
rod?
power to lead Philly to victory.
There we
And in
go.
the conference finals, they faced another NBA legend, Ray Allen and his Milwaukee Bucks. Ray,
Ooh.
Sam Cassell, and big dog Glenn Robinson looked like the better team at the beginning of the series. And after Game 2, it looked like the Sixers were doomed. The game was tied, but Allen Iverson injured his hip and was ruled out of Game 3. And without their
No.
best player, the Sixers had no chance against Milwaukee. But being as tough as he was, Iverson pushed through the pain and suited up for Game 4. And even though his hip contributed to an atrocious shooting performance from Iverson, 10 for 32 shooting,
Damn.
the Sixers somehow pulled through in a must-win game.
They
And
still
then,
won?
Game 5, Iverson had an even worse game, shooting 5 for 27.
Oh
and
my
scoring
God.
15 points. But he did have 9 rebounds and 8 assists. And
Damn.
the Sixers somehow eked out an 89-88 win. AI scoring
Barely
came back
won.
for Game 6, and he finished with 46 points.
Okay.
The Sixers lost and were due for another Game 7. But when it was most important, Iverson played the best game of the series, finishing with 44 points and 7 assists to push the Sixers to the NBA Finals. After a decade of irrelevance and losing, the Sixers were on the brink of basketball immortality, reaching their first finals in 18 years.
There we go.
However, in the 2001 finals, there was a worst possible opponent. The Los Angeles Lakers, with prime Shaq and Kobe.
Oh my God.
Finals. But in Game 1, Allen Iverson was destined to change that. In the first
Shaq
half,
and Kobe's
Iverson played
crazy.
like a madman, torching Kobe and Derek Fisher for 30 points.
Damn.
However, in the second half, Phil Jackson decided to put in Iverson's doppelganger, Ty Lue. Leading up to the finals,
Ty Lue
played. However, he was the only player on the Lakers fast enough to keep up with AI, and he did a fantastic job, holding Iverson to just 3 points in the final stretch of regulation.
Word?
Then came overtime. Iverson found his groove again, scoring 7 of the Sixers' 13 points, and his last shot became one of the greatest moments in NBA history. This deadly bucket was the epitome of Iverson's career. It showed the full detail of his talent and his deadly crossover.
Come here.
While the step over after he made the shot fully explained the bloodedness of
the
this
disrespect.
Iverson rarely talked trash on the court, and he rarely even swore on the court. Even if he said something, it was a simple one-liner, more closer to Tim Duncan than to Kevin Garnett. Instead, he let his game do the talking. And in that Game 1 win against the Lakers, he reached basketball immortality. He finished with 48 points, 6 assists, and 5 steals,
bro.
almost single-handedly defeating the team that was undefeated in the playoffs.
That's crazy. The fact that he put up that many points versus a Shaq and Kobe, that's impressive. And came out with the dub too. He definitely single-handedly won Philly that game. And if they wanted to win a championship that year, bro, he would have had to do that jump 3 more times, bro. And obviously, with a coach like Phil Jackson, you know he gonna make adjustments.
It was the 6th highest scoring game in NBA Finals history. However, in the next 4 games, the Lakers proved their dominance and won the title, as nobody in the NBA could deal with Shaq. And even though Iverson lost, he became a people's champion and an NBA legend. The 76ers averaged 94.7 points per game that season. Allen Iverson averaged 31.4 of those.
Damn!
None of his teammates averaging over 12 points.
Oh
In
my
fact,
God.
None of his teammates averaged more than 18 points per game at any point in their careers, and most never even averaged 15.
Bro, imagine if AI had some type of help. Do y'all think he would have won the championship, bro? Because it's like this man was literally backpacking them boys to every playoff appearance and finals appearance, bro. Damn, none of his teammates was able to average over 18 points a game ever since he was on Philly. That's crazy.
Other than Iverson, the 2001 Sixers were the worst offensive team that ever reached the NBA Finals. And while it's not entirely wrong to say that Iverson was a ball hog, on this team, he absolutely
had to,
He was the lone scorer on a defensive-minded team, which allowed his offensive talent to shine and shoot until the wheels fell off. And the wheels nearly did fall off. Iverson played through 9 different injuries during the 2001 NBA season, which is a testament to his resilience and fighting spirit. And yes, Allen Iverson won only 1 playoff series after 2001. Yes, he wasn't very efficient, especially by today's standards. And sure, he didn't like to practice. And the 2001 season was really the only season where he behaved like a professional and showed up on time. But as he said in that infamous press conference, maybe he didn't show up for practice. But come game time, this skinny little dude was willing to die on that court. And that's why he's still one of the most popular NBA players of all time.
In the comments down below, is AI one of the greatest players to never win a ring? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. What's y'all favorite AI moment too as well, man? But damn, if AI had some help throughout his prime years, he probably would have won a championship. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think he could have won a championship if he had a little bit of help. That's crazy though, bro. None of his teammates could average more than 18 points. He carried one of the worst scoring teams to ever make it to the finals by himself and was able to win a game. Like, that's impressive to me. He literally backpacked them boys to the finals, man. But obviously Shaq and Kobe, that's a whole different story, man. But yeah, bro. Shout out AI, man. If you like the video, hit the like button. Comment down below any athletes y'all want me to react to next. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel if you new.